When did you stop living for yourself? Not for your job, not for your family, not for your responsibilities, just for you. There was a time when you had dreams, real dreams, things you wanted to create, things you wanted to become. But slowly, quietly, life filled every hour, and your dreams moved to tomorrow, then next week, then next year, until one day you looked up and you couldn't remember the last time you did something just for yourself. This is the story of Sarah, a woman who forgot who she was until a small clock reminded her.
Once upon a time in a busy city, there lived a young woman named Sarah. Sarah was 28 years old. She was kind, she worked hard, she never complained. But Sarah was exhausted. Every morning was the same. The alarm rang at 7:30. She hit snooze once, twice, 3 times. Finally, at 8, she got up, rushed shower, no breakfast, grabbed whatever clothes were clean, ran to the bus. Always late, always stressed, always starting the day already behind. At work, Sarah answered phone calls all day. People were angry, people were impatient, people talked to her like she was invisible. By 6 o'clock, she had nothing left. She walked home slowly, bought cheap food from the corner shop, sat on the sofa, turned on the television. She didn't really watch it, she just stared at it. Too tired to move, too tired to think. By midnight, she fell asleep on the sofa. The next morning, the alarm rang again, and everything started over. Sarah had dreams once. 3 years ago, she had started writing a book. The file was still on her laptop, 50 pages, untouched for 3 years. She had wanted to learn photography. She bought a camera. It was still in the box under her bed. She had wanted to take an art class. She signed up once. She never went. "I don't have time," she told herself every day. "I'm too tired. I work all day. When am I supposed to do these things?" But the truth she never said out loud was different. She wasn't just tired from work. She was tired from carrying a life that didn't feel like hers anymore. One evening, Sarah came home from work and sat at her kitchen table. She opened her laptop to watch something, anything, just to fill the silence. But instead of opening a video, her hand moved to a folder she hadn't opened in a long time. Her book. She clicked it. 50 pages appeared on the screen. She read the first paragraph, then the second. Her own words, her own voice, a story she had cared about deeply once. She couldn't remember writing it. It felt like it was written by someone else, someone who had time, someone who had energy, someone who believed her dreams were possible. Sarah closed the laptop slowly. She sat in the dark kitchen for a long time. Then, she did something she hadn't done in years. She cried. Not because something bad had happened that day, but because she realized something had been disappearing for a long time, and she had been too busy to notice. Herself. The next morning was Saturday. Sarah went to a small coffee shop near her apartment. She needed to be somewhere quiet, somewhere that wasn't her sofa or her desk at work. She ordered coffee and sat by the window. At the table next to her sat an old woman. She was reading a small notebook, writing slowly, pausing sometimes to look out of the window. She looked calm, completely calm. On the table beside her notebook was a small alarm clock, old and simple, the kind you wind with your hand. Sarah found herself staring at it. The old woman looked up and smiled gently. "It's not very modern," the old woman said, looking at the clock, "but it does something my phone cannot." Sarah looked up, surprised. "What does it do?" The old woman picked up the clock carefully. "It reminds me that time is mine to choose." Sarah didn't fully understand, but something in those words stayed with her. They talked, slowly, the way strangers sometimes do when the morning is quiet. The old woman asked Sarah what she did. Sarah told her. The call center, the long hours, the exhaustion. The old woman listened without interrupting. Her eyes were kind and steady. Then she asked something Sarah didn't expect. "What did you want to be before life got busy?" Sarah was quiet for a long moment. "A writer," she said finally.
It felt strange to say it out loud, like admitting something she had been hiding. "And when did you last write?" Sarah looked down at her coffee. 3 years ago. "Can I ask you one more thing?" the old woman said gently. "What time did you wake up this morning?" "About 9, Sarah said. The old woman looked at her with calm, steady eyes. "And what happened between 9 and now?" Sarah thought. "I got dressed, made coffee, walked here." The old woman nodded. "And yesterday morning?" "I rushed to work." "And the morning before?" "The same." The old woman was quiet for a moment. Then she said softly, "Every morning, before the world wakes up, there are quiet hours. Hours that belong to no one. Hours that have not been claimed by your job, your phone, your responsibilities. Most people sleep through them or rush through them." She placed the small alarm clock on the table between them. "Those hours are where your dreams live. Not after work when you are empty. Before work when you are still yourself." Sarah walked home holding those words carefully. Before work, when you are still yourself. The idea stayed with her all day, but by evening, the doubts came. "I'm already tired. Waking up earlier will make it worse. I've tried to write before. Nothing comes out. What if I wake up at 5 and just sit there feeling stupid? What if it's too late? 3 years. Maybe the book is gone. Maybe I am gone." She sat at her kitchen table that night and looked at the small clock she had bought that afternoon. It was simple: white face, black numbers, a small bell on top. She wound it slowly. It ticked quietly in the silence of the apartment. Sarah thought about the old woman's question. What did you want to be before life got busy? A writer. She had known it since she was 12 years old. Not for money, not for success, just because words were the place where she felt most like herself. And she had left that place 3 years ago. Not because someone took it from her, because she stopped going there. She set the clock for 5 in the morning. She wasn't sure she would actually get up, but she set it anyway. The clock rang at 5. Sarah's first thought was, this is a mistake. Everything in her body wanted to go back to sleep. But she thought of her book. 50 pages, 3 years of dust. She got up. The apartment was completely dark, completely silent. She made coffee slowly. The sound of the kettle felt loud in the quiet. She sat at the kitchen table, opened her laptop, opened her book. She read the last paragraph she had written 3 years ago. Then she placed her hands on the keyboard and waited. Nothing came for several minutes. She almost closed the laptop, but she kept her hands on the keys. Then one sentence came, slow and uncertain, then another, then a paragraph. The words were not perfect. Some of them were clumsy, some of them were wrong, but they were hers. At 6:45 she stopped, made breakfast for the first time in months, got ready for work slowly. As she sat on the bus, she noticed something. She felt different. Not happy exactly, not proud exactly. Something quieter than that. She felt like herself. The next morning, Sarah got up at 5 again, and the morning after that. The first week was hard. Her body fought it every day, but something shifted in week 2. She started going to bed earlier, 10 o'clock instead of midnight. She realized the hours between 10 and midnight had been empty, just scrolling, just staring, just waiting for exhaustion to arrive. But the hours between 5 and 7 were full. Her mind was clear, the world was quiet, nothing needed anything from her. She wrote every morning. By the end of the first month, her book had grown from 50 pages to 110. By month 2, she had started taking her camera out of the box. Not every morning, but sometimes, walking in the early light before the city woke up.
She started to remember things about herself she had forgotten. She liked the color of early morning light. She liked the silence before buses started running. She liked the feeling of creating something before the day asked anything of her. Month 3, month 4, her book kept growing. She went back to the coffee shop one Saturday morning. She hoped to see the old woman again. She wasn't there. Sarah sat at the same table by the window, ordered the same coffee. She took out the small clock and placed it on the table, and she opened her notebook and began to write. A stranger at the next table looked at the clock and smiled. "That's a beautiful old clock," she said. Sarah smiled back. "It reminds me that time is mine to choose."
6 months after that quiet Saturday morning, Sarah finished her book. 230 pages. A story she had carried inside her for years. She didn't know if it would be published. She didn't know if anyone would read it, but she had written it. And that was enough. The small clock still sat on her kitchen table. Every morning when she wound it, she remembered. Not the old woman's words exactly, but the feeling behind them. Before the world wakes up, there are hours that belong to no one, hours that belong to you. This story teaches us something quiet and important. We talk about not having time. We say it every day, but the truth is different. We have time. We have always had time. What we have lost is the habit of using it for ourselves. Every morning, before the demands begin, there are hours waiting. Quiet hours, empty hours, hours that have not yet been claimed by anyone. Most of us sleep through them, or rush through them, or give them away to our phones. But those hours are where your real life lives. Not the life of deadlines and schedules and other people's needs. Your life. The dreams you had before you got busy. The person you were before survival became the only goal. You don't need more time. You need to find the hours that are already yours. So today, ask yourself the question the old woman asked Sarah. What did you want to be before life got busy? And then ask yourself one more question. What would happen if you gave that dream just 2 quiet hours before the world wakes up?
If this story touched something inside you, please give it a like and share it with someone who has forgotten their dreams. Subscribe to Voice of Life Tales for more life-changing stories every week. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story with new lessons and new hope. Until then, wind your clock, protect your hours, and remember who you were before life got busy.